I need to see too.
Hello, good morning and welcome. My name is Ian, and off camera, slowly coming on here, will be Lauren with a chair or a box or an ottoman or something to sit on. But don't sit quite yet. We're going to start standing first. We'll do quick wrists, quick shoulders, and upper back. And then from a seated position, we'll start talking to the low body. Ready to go? But first, breathe. Go hand belly, hand chest, comfortable stance of your choice. Take a breath in and fill the chest, seeing it, feeling it, rise. Exhale. Then, keeping the chest calm, breathe into the belly. Exhale. Repeat one more repetition in the chest. Maybe you can feel it arch or shape up, and exhale, pulling the rib cage down. Then into the belly. Breath in. Breath out. Now keep the chest calm, and for 3 more repetitions, breathe into the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Brace those abs. Breathe from behind the shield for an inhale. And exhale. Brace and breathe. 1 more. Exhale. Relax. Did you keep the upper chest calm? Can you feel in the belly? Lauren is saying if she's on a run and she's feeling that tension creep up top, breathe into the belly, and it takes it away a little bit. From here, we'll get hands on our apparatus of choice. Open up those hands, place them on the chair, and mine needs to be a little bit wider for my hands actually. So there we go, wide open hands. From this position, press to those first knuckles, and then down. Screw in that the blood donations are facing forward and the armpits are low. And with the head, neck in a neutral position, repeat 1 or 2 more. Look at the hands here and lift up your thumbs. Place them low. Lift up the index fingers. Oh geez. Lift up the middle fingers.
Start keeping my elbows
Oh
straight.
geez. Lift up the ring fingers. Good luck. At least yours truly is kind of saying that. And lift up the pinkies. And then lift up those pinkies and place them down. And try to lift up those ring fingers, keeping those elbows straight as Lauren said. Put them down. Ring fingers, try to lift those up. Put them down. And lastly, the index fingers. Ugh. And then relax. Push away and shake. That was a hard drill for those hands. In a second, it'll be a pretty similar drill for the feet. One more time, back to our hinge position, and let's talk to the spine. Set up your hinge with the hands on the apparatus of choice. And from here, we'll start talking and working to the lumbar spine. With the head in a neutral place, looking between those hands, pull the armpits low and low back rounding by flexing or pulling on your abdominals. With the tailbone tucked under, push the tailbone away, extending the lumbar spine. From the lowest part in the abdominals, your coccyx or the tip of the tailbone, tuck under that lumbar, maintaining extension through the rib cage, and then extension through the lumbar spine. When we're in this pose that Lauren and I are showing, I personally feel quite a load through my hamstrings. And from here, we'll go 1 more time of tucking, recruiting those abdominals on the front to flex the spine. Return to a normal or neutral position, slight extension, not too much of that valley in the lumbar. Now, pull the rib cage onto the hips, flexing the upper back. Take a quick moment, push through the shoulders as to protract, but then retract the shoulders. From that position, round. Now push or protract shoulders away, retract those shoulders with straight arms, and now try to flex through the spine. Now with the shoulders in retraction, brace those abdominals, and without looking forward from the face, push the heart forward, extending the T-spine, holding on for time. For 3, 2, stay, and relax. Now open those grips again. Screw in the hands. Keep the chin neutral. Brace the abdominals on the front. And again, looking for the T-spine extension or pushing my heart to the ladder back here on the chair. For 3, 2, and relax. Press yourself back. Stand up tall. Let's have a seat now on our chairs. Tall sitting. How do you sit when you're at your dinner table or your workstation, or maybe that's the same table? Do we slouch or sit tall? When we're sitting as something crossing over, do anything, move all ways, but generally speaking, let's have feet on the floor, push down and lift yourself up out of this chair. From here, either taking looks at your feet or feeling what's going on, like those hands from before, try to lift up the big toes. Keep the foot tripod in mind where we're heavy on the heel, the thumb or the big toe pad and the pinky, but for 3 more seconds, those thumbs or big toes are coming up. Place them down. Alternate, heavy toes, big toes this time, and lift those other 4 toes out to the side. And hold for 3, 2, taking looks at them if you need, and then place them down. One more time of each. Open those toes, keep them nice and heavy. Lift up the big toe, but the big toe pad or the mound is going to stay on the ground for 5 more seconds. For 3, 2, place it heavy, and alternate for the last time. Heavy big toes, and then lifting those other digits, little piggies. But that little mound on that little side of the foot here, the pinky side, is going to also stay heavy and press those fingers or toes into the ground. Spreading, important. Get that nice base of support. But what about our strength and that gripping strength? Lightly, make a fist with your foot. Lightly, lightly. Say hello to arch tension, but don't let it Charlie horse for 3, 2, relax and wiggle. Alternate to the other side. Lightly, slow, make a fist with the foot. Hold for time, and then relax. Place it on the ground. I'm gonna have to sit to the edge of my chair just a little bit next for what's coming up. Now, I'll lightly lift a knee. And can we try to rotate at the knee? The shape I'm showing here is an external rotation on my knee, and the shape I'm getting into there is an internal rotation on my knee. It's pretty subtle, pretty hard to control, but if you're patient with it, those ranges will be there for you. For 1 or 2 more, try the rotation. Finish with a forward-facing foot and place on the ground. Use the support of the other leg, of the arms rather, to support the other leg, and same thing here. An external rotation out to the side, an internal rotation to the midline. External, internal, and last 1 or 2. Lauren is sitting beautifully here. She's leaning back slightly, which is okay, but her lumbar again is extended, nice and supported from the core. Repeat last repetition on the in, and replace to the floor. Next, original leg, same deal, but with extension on the knee. We'll start with the knee in that externally rotated position from your safe deep knee bend. Then, breathing in, maintaining control, extend through the knee. Hold for a second, that's a cheat, and then nice and slow to return. Now, we'll go an internal rotation on the knee, so just one of those, and from a safe deep knee bend, same thing, sitting tall in extension, slowly straightening the leg, slowly bend. I can hear Lauren's quadriceps going, hoo-ah, hoo-ah, which is okay. Take a break, let's switch sides. Same thing on the other side. Start an external rotation from your safest, deepest knee bend. While sitting tall, we'll then extend through the knee. Hold for time, and slowly bend to your safe, deep knee bend. Then, internally rotate on that knee and slowly extend. Hold for a 1/1000 or slight time under tension again, and then our knee bend. Return to the floor. Let's repeat that one more time on the other side or the original side. Sitting tall, supporting the leg, safe deep knee flexion or bend, external rotation, slightly knee or foot turned out. From that position, we'll take our time as we extend through the knee, hold 1/1000, and then time under tension to return. Internally rotate on the knee next, and extend. Slow bend. Return to the ground. Alternate to the other side, support with the hands, safe deep knee bend in the externally rotated position on the knee, slow to extend with tension, no cheat this time, and a knee bend, and then a roll in, a slow knee bend to extend, and down, and return. One last drill from seated. It's kind of a two-parter. Simple and very challenging task is to sit tall, press one foot so heavy, core brace, and follow along as we lift a single leg, placing it on the knee on the opposite side. That's getting better. Nice. Now let's overcross.
We did it already.
Holding on to one hand holding onto the shin, the other hand cup the top of the foot. As sitting as tall or hinging forward as you need, be aware of that lateral stretch on the bum, but be more focused on what's going on at this foot. I'll start with my foot in our plantar flex position or point. From here, I'm going to pull the foot towards my body or the toes towards the ceiling. And then from there, I'm going to find those edges of this circle as I pull around to a dorsiflex shape and then pulling towards the ground. And I will have to lean forward here a little bit. And then we'll do one more time in that same direction. Try to keep the toes flat or quiet, that they aren't pulling themselves into the hand. So even if you were to flex the toes to make that fist with your foot, that would be a little bit harder way to do this drill. I'm on my last quarter turn as I'm approaching my ballet foot, and then I'll switch our direction as I reach low, keeping the toes flat, pulling the toes or ankle towards the ceiling, around back, which is a really crazy stretch here, reaching low, and then one more time, out to the side, towards the sky. And again, trying to isolate that ankle to move in a nice circle. Then wiggle those toes, slide it over, and then with control, bring it down. Same thing other side. Let's set up with that really simple and challenging task of sitting tall and getting that ankle over here. Core brace. Sorry for those noises. It's an effort. Overcross that ankle. So now this ankle nubbin down here is hanging off. We'll cup the top of the foot. Maybe add 2% pressure and a little bit of this elbow on that hip if it is happening to be a little bit high. And from there, we'll start with our ballet or plantar flex foot, and then pull the foot towards the body, turning the toes up. And nice and slow, feel a nice stretch as we go here. And then carve out those spaces as we reach down towards the floor to our point. Repeat one more time as we pull the toes towards the ceiling and then to the back. And then reach low, carve out those spaces as the toes go to the ceiling now. And then we'll go from the ceiling to the ground. And one last turn here, carve out those spaces in the ankle, toes to ceiling, pull around to point, relax, and with tension and control, return to the ground. From seated, we'll reconvene with that T-spine in a rotation, then we'll stand up and continue our explorations with the hips. With the hands across the body and sitting nice and tall. Add a rotation, growing, pulling the crown of the head to the ceiling as you do. Return to center. Repeat. Add a rotation, sternum moving with the chin, chin moving with the sternum as you return to center. Now, add a side bend where your ribs, slowly each side here, where your ribs are staying over top of your hips or over top of the chair that you're on. For a slight variation, lean outside of that cylinder or the chair. Pull center. Lean outside, feel that difference. And for this drill, we're just trying to stay within our frame. We don't need to reach too far. Let's put that all together and we'll add our rotation first. Sitting tall, crown of head high, add our rotation, chin and sternum working as a team. From here, laterally flex or bend to the back corner. Reach around the back, sitting tall. You can look at Lauren's lumbar spine there for a good example of that. Then we're in our quarter turn to our new corner. We're going to stay in our cylinder or over our chair as we side flex, and then pull to center and reestablish a tall sit. Alternate to the other direction. Start with a light chin tuck, maybe. Add our rotation, and then our side flex to the back right-hand corner. Lifting up and over, making sure we stay tall on the lumbar. We're extending through the back. Then we'll side flex to our new corner, and then recruiting on those abdominals. Pull to center, and get tall. Relax those arms, and you might do a rotation before the day is over. But first, let's stand up. We got to get those hips going. Continue those hips. So me using the chair, and perhaps Lauren using the rad or a bar mounted on the wall. You too can balance at home. Use your chair, use your kitchen counter, find an apparatus for some stability as you work on the mobility of the hips. Moving forward. Good idea. Okay. Standing tall, let's take a leg to the front. Very low, have the heel strike just in front of the toes like we're doing one of our heel toe walks. From here, externally rotate on the hip, inseam forward. Internally rotate on the hip, hiding the inseam. Keep this hip forward. Repeat, external rotation, internal rotation, and one more time in the external rotation. From there, reach a leg towards the side where the heels might be in line. Standing tall on that an inside leg, my right, using my balance aid, I'll turn in on my hip, internal rotation, turning out, showing the inseam forward. And for one more, we'll go in, out, and then in. From in, reach around the back. Your foot might come up off the floor just a little bit. And then as Lauren is there, pull the foot underneath the body. Repeat to the back, extending the hip, reaching around to the side. From the side, with that pointed foot, reach to the front, and then pull underneath to get tall. Repeat to the other side. Standing tall. Have a sip of water. We'll go single leg forward, and then from here, external rotation or inseam forward, internal rotation, turning it down. Repeat, external rotation, inseam up, and then rotation to hide it. One more time, externally rotate. From here, reach to the side. Maybe you caught my foot. Let's replicate Lauren's foot. That's the one we were looking for this set. My apologies. From here, we'll roll in on the hip with that dorsiflex ankle shape, and then our external rotation or roll out. Repeat one more time, rolling in, one more time, rolling out, and then roll in one last go. Now, as that foot's rolled in, reach around the back, taking away daylight between the legs. Now pull that leg underneath to get even taller. Then extend the hip to the back with the dorsiflex leg, meaning the toe might not leave the floor, and that's okay. And then open up to the side. It might come off a little bit, but keep it low, to the front, and then underneath. I'd like to perform that same exercise with our bent knee. From standing, with the quads parallel, femurs in line, bend the outside leg at the knee. Hug it into the body as you pull the foot towards that standing leg. Keeping the foot touching that leg or very close to center, open up to have a laterally facing knee. Internally rotate on the hip as to lift the ankle. Reach to the back, extending the hips forward, and pull into center to touch those legs together. Then reach to the back as we open up. The foot aims to be right underneath of the hip, touching that knee. As we pull to the front, think a little bit of this overcross, and then extend the hip with a bent knee until the quads are parallel, and straighten out the leg and get taller underneath. Repeat to the other side. From tall, bend the outside leg with our dorsiflexed ankle. Adduct or pull into the body as the knee comes forward in hip flexion and the foot gets to that standing leg knee. Continue that circle, reaching away from the body as we open to that second or sides position. From here, we could internally rotate or lift up the ankle, kicking to the back, extending the hip forward, and pulling the knee together. Reach to the back in our hip extension for the last time. Knee goes to the back corner, then the side, as the foot stays underneath of the hip, pulling the knee towards your safe high. Hip flexion in the front. Hip extension as Lauren's kicking back. And when the legs are parallel, straighten the knee and stay tall. Whew. Have a sip. Relax. Do some hulas. That sounds fun. Doing some hulas. So I'd like to get in our squat stance. We'll continue the exploration on the hips with some nice time under tension in our squat. Start in your first position. And with the hips on the holsters, or any place that you choose, hands on the holsters that are the hips. From here, try to draw little mini hulas. Mine would look like the following. If I tuck my hips forward, and then I reach to my left, and then I'm reaching out the back, and now you can see me a little bit of reach to the right, and then I'm back out in front. Switch your direction. This time I'll go to the right, to the back, around the back, making sure it's not too much on my lumbar or low back, and now here I am trying to turn that last corner, returning to center. Open up your stance towards your second or slightly wider position. Find a stable floor. Same thing. I'm going to tuck my hips under or reach front. And now this time let's go to the right first. Reach around the back, making sure again the lumbar is feeling okay with that. As you reach to the left, from the left to the front. And then as we're front, we'll switch our direction here, going the other way. How are those hip holsters? Are you feeling those side butt cheeks say hello to you? I hope so. And under. And if you didn't there, you might here. Take our time as we approach our squat. Get towards your safe low position in a squat. Generally trying to get the bum below the knees. From here, let's try one hula. So I'm going to tuck my hips forward or under. And now I'm reaching to my left. And from my left, I'm reaching to that right, to the front right, to center. And then from center, I'm going to shift right, reach to the back left, reaching around this front left corner to center, stand, pull those legs in. And for one more time, we have our feet together. We'll get in our squat plie. And from here, same thing. So I tuck those hips under. I'm going to reach to the lateral, reach around the back, and now I'm at the right-hand side.
I'm underneath center. And then last time, I'm going to go to the back corner, open up, last quadrant corner, stand. Now you can shake that on out. Now we can shake that on out. We did some of our favorite funny walks, silly walks to challenge the balance the other day. Now let's get working on some foot balances. You all right?
Yeah.
All right. It's been a busy morning in the studio. It's a little bit warm here, doing some filming, so stay tuned for new episodes for the Get Up, as well as our bar practice video series coming your way as soon as next week. But let's work on our balance here today. First, just warm up the toes again. Those lunging foots, find those 2-foot tripods on the front as we, with stiff legs right now, go into our toe balance. Keeping the hips extended forward and the rib cage down and the crown pulling tall. Hold for a couple more seconds. Now let's take 5 seconds with stiff knees to slowly lower those heels to the floor. Push your hips forward to make room for those heels coming down. Now let's go knees over toes. Encourage those knees over toes. Lauren's beautiful stacked position, head, shoulders, hips and feet stacked. Knees are the deviation or the slight variation on that. Now from here, stand up tall. Are you pulled together in that straw? Go down low again, knees over toes. And for 3 to 5 repetitions here, can we press to the balls of the feet and return to the heels? Could you get a micro bend lower? To the toes, to the heels. I can't truly get a micro bend lower, but I'm trying. And then one last time here, find those balls of feet back, and now extend those hips, pulling tall. Is right. Let's shake that out. Let's get that core fired up, and to do so, let's use our hinge to get to the floor. Using your hinge, I would take knife edges, chop those hip flexors, press the hips back. Find the hands to the floor, and walking hands forward or legs back, hold your top planks position. With hands under shoulders fully extended and blood donations forward, move your hips high, connect them to your ribs, hips with a bum squeeze, and for 10 seconds, hold this plank's tension. Go. 10, 9. Make this the safest and the hardest version of a 10-second plank known to you to this point for 3, 2, soft knees. Relax. Try to stay in extension. Avoid that child's pose. For one more time, we're going to use those ab strengths here. Extend those legs or modify as I am showing right now. And for 10 seconds, hit your plank, meaning 10 seconds of bum squeezing, ab bracing, screwing in for torque on the floor, maintaining your breath, trying to keep counting, and Lauren says we're done, so relax. From here, let's get towards our inchworm or our mountain peak position. Enjoy that down dog, whatever you call it. It's probably intense through the calves and the hamstrings. Take your time and walk up any way that feels available for you. I'll choose to walk in, and now I'm going to fold, actually, and stack in that folding pattern. Lauren's doing really well against the wall here, using the wall for some feedback. If we're folding, we're trying to avoid the hinge. Both are good. We'll play with both of those today as we go through the practice. Lunges are people's, myself included, probably least favorite versions of exercises. And then if we say, how about you go on your tiptoe in the front, maybe that takes the edge off and makes it amazing, and it probably brings up the challenge more likely. Let's try. Take your time, more conventional lunge to start. Set up your lunge stance. Take time and pull yourself to the ground. Do you look like Lauren, A++? Do you feel like me, contorted like a pretzel? If your hip is hiked, we need to bring that down. If your lumbar is scooped, we need to scoop under the hip to bring that around too. For 1 or 2 more times in a row, play with a casual hip hike the way I'm showing here, and then leveling out the ship here. And then one more time, hip hike and level out. And then if Lauren took away her right hand, you can see her hip a little clearer here. From here, I believe she's tucked under, and then she'll tilt the tailbone towards the back, super small, and then tucking the tailbone under. You can see her gorgeous foot in the back there. Last one of a tailbone tuck away. Now tuck under, push the floor forward and back to stand up, to tall. Repeat on the other side. Hands on hip holsters or anywhere that you need. Step back to our lunge stance. From here, take time as we extend this hip forward to travel low to our lunge. Check. A++, kind of C- over here. Level out those hips. So take it from a hip hike and pull it low. Maybe you feel you need a little bit more room. Personalize your stance, but we're chasing 90-degree angles like at Lauren's shape. Perhaps one more hip hike and one more level. Now, let's scoop under, bringing the front of the pelvis towards the belly button. And now, bring the front of the pelvis towards the floor. Front of the pelvis towards the belly button, scooping up the punch, and then lightly spill or pour some of that punch out on the floor. For one more time, let's say pour, because we want it to be purposeful. Good. And then one more time, lightly pour. Watch those ice cubes don't drip all over the place. Now we'll tuck under the hip. We'll check out those level positions. And with our core brace, core tension to up. And then to relax. Let's get back down to the floor, using our hinge to get down and our fold to come up. With your swing-like stance, lightly chop yourself on those hip flexors. Push your bum back, and if you were near a wall, try to touch it. Reach to the back. Then accommodate those hands to the floor. Walk out hands or feet, or a combination of both. Hit your high planks position. I'll start with my modified. And from a high plank position, press the floor away, armpits low, blood donations forward, and 10, go. Bum squeeze, armpits low, core brace. I'm not keeping track of time, so I hope my teammate is. So in 3, 2, knees down, relax tension. Nice modifications between the shapes Lauren's showing and the one I did there include single leg extensions. So from our position, maybe we can lengthen out one leg and go. Let's go for 5 seconds if you're shaped like me, 10 seconds if you're with Lauren. So if, oh good. Okay, we're doing different things, but I like it. And then we're gonna switch. So Lauren is in her high plank with a single leg up. I'm in my modified plank with a single leg back for 3, 2, and I really like this variation, holy cow. And relax. We'll do that again. That was kind of advanced, and then mine was trying to catch up to where Lauren was at just a second ago. From here, we'll open up hands, take a moment and push tailbone towards the ceiling. And then we're thinking about our fold. So we're gonna keep our hips now stacked over top of our feet, pulling through the abdominals, extending through the musculature of the back. Lift the heart high, keeping the abs on, and then we can shake it out. How'd the tiptoes feel from earlier? How did the lunge feel from just a moment ago? Can we place them together for slow and strong repetitions of a toe balanced lunge? Whew. Let's get set up the way we have before. So here, we'll take a single leg and reach it to the back. From there, elevate onto the front toe. For time, could we take time, get towards low, stand up, staying on the ball of that foot. For one more time for the first set here, we'll take our time coming down, keeping that back hip extended, stand up. A+ is to push off and come to 2 feet on the toes, and then slow down. That was a little surprise. Been working on that one by myself. Lauren wasn't quite ready for that. How was that? Same but different. Get the basics, get the balance, put them together for some fun. Other side, same thing. Step back in the lunge. Are you happy with that stance? Elevate onto the ball of the front foot. Hugging those legs into center will take time as that knee comes down. I think I saw Lauren's knee touch. Super optional. Don't touch it. It does not force the touch. And then stand up. For one more time, stay on the balls of toes. Keep extending the back hip forward and stand up tall. When the back leg's fully extended, push off, carry through, hold the balance, and slow low. Time for planks. So we'll set up our hip hinge again. Hips go back, vertical shins. Then a little bit of a tip forward. Hands and feet walk out to plank. I'm gonna hit that same position as before, meaning I'm gonna have a tripod on the floor and a single leg then out the back. From here, 10 seconds, go. 10, 9. Are your elbows straight? Are those armpits pulling down? For 3, 2, relax. And if you're with me there, let's just switch sides. Same thing. Extend one leg. Keep those hips level and elbows straight. And 9, 8, we're pulling on the floor. Press that straight leg out the back, down into the floor. Feel nice tension on abs for 3, 2, relax. Take a second. Maybe a breath. That was in the nose, out the mouth. I'm getting there, Lauren. I'm trying. And then bum to ceiling. Take your time. And now we're thinking our fold up, pushing the floor away, stacking tall, and relaxing. One more time, lunges out the front. Set up your stance. Drop back or step forward. I like to drop back because it's like our get up. Take a look at your ankles. Take a look at your ankles. Let's get Lauren to give a quarter turn and give her another A+ today. Do one quarter turn to face the camera, Lauren. The feet. I'm not sure if you can see them, I'm sorry. The feet like this, A+. Feet like this, C-. Hug center, avoiding the sickled foot on the ankle. Final set, last time. From standing tall, step back to lunge. Elevate weight to the foot bipod or the front 2 points of the foot. Now, with Lauren's back hip in extension as it is here, travel to your safe low. Take a second, stand up tall, keeping the front leg vertical and beautiful back leg extension. One last time, pull the knee forward, spend time getting low, hug center, stand tall, push off the back, hold a balance, and then with straight legs, reset. Okay, amazing, good. And same thing other side, a little bit of shakes in between. We'll take a single leg to the back. Elevate onto the ball of the front foot. Extend that hip to the back as we're going down in our beautiful straight line here. To descend in our lunge, straighten the back leg, keeping the front shin vertical. Hold the top, and then nice and slow for the last repetition. We'll go low, square up the shoulders and hips. Good job, Lauren. And then straighten the back leg, press off of it, come forward, reset, and shake. To finish today, I'd like us to do about 6 total get-ups, going down, up, down, up, down, up, for a total of 6, alternating each side. Let's take a hand across the chest, or if you have that rolling pin nearby, follow me. Beginner regressions here, follow Lauren. More advanced, follow me. Arm overhead. The leg you can touch, both of our lefts, is going to drop back into our lunge. Then we'll open up, we'll hinge rotate, find the floor, sit tall. Find an elbow, push off. From here, extend the hip.
I like it here.
And push on the elbow to tall sit. Push weight over the hand. Sweep through. Get tall. Square up. And tall. Repeat. Leg down. Open up. Set up the hinge. Grip the floor and load. Sweeps. Elbow. Press away with core control. And then use the hip extension to push roll. Sit tall. Bridge sweep. Hinge through. Find the lunge. To tall. Drop low. Open up. Glad this is only a 1 pound rolling pin here. And then sweep through. And elbow. And down. And last extend. Find the elbow. Bridge. Sweep. Get underneath that loader arm. Square it up. To the top. And pull. And switch. Last set of 3 today. 100 pound press if we do. And then we'll drop down in our lunge. Opening up. Chopping, rotating. Loading over the hand and sitting tall. Find the elbow. Core brace to return. Use your hip extension to pull. Sit tall. If you do have an arm overhead, is it vertical or perpendicular with the floor? And there's 1. Drop down in a lunge, 2. Open. Spread the floor for energy with those fingers. Grip for tension. Elbow. Core brace down. Drive the hip, pull the elbow. Sit tall. Bridge transition weight. Sweep. Extend through. Square. Tall. 1 last time. Down in your lunge. Open to the side. Check for socks underneath the bed. Sit tall. Find the elbow. Core brace. And drive. And this 1 pound rolling pin feels like 10, I swear. Extend through. Open. Tall. On the lunge. Pull down. And done. Thank you. Come on close. Whew. Woo. Empty. Thank you very much for following along with today's Restore and Recharge practice. We're charged. We're heading to the beach today. We're sweaty, wiping it off. We're going to have a good time this weekend filming sessions at the beach, as well as doing some RNR, which doesn't mean restore and recharge. It could mean some rest and relaxation. We hope you have a great weekend. Visit our website for membership, barsandbells.com. Subscribe on YouTube. And thank you so much for being here this week. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Stay tuned. Stay strong. See you later.
Bye-bye. Yeah.